Here we're talking about how to shade the lens when sun hits it. That's a good step. Typically we use something we call a French flag, which shades the lens from the harsh light of the sun. So we'll get something for that right now. Here's some of the choices I made in my life. Well, I chose to go to film school. That was a good choice. When I got out of film school, I might have made a bad decision in not sticking with industrial videos and trying just to do commercials because they paid more for the day, but the industrial videos would have had a more lasting career effect. So I went short, and now I don't have my stake in the industrial video world like I used to. Okay, so that was my college years. Then, does it count that in 1988 I decided to marry Jessica? Then we had children, and then along came 9/11 and we decided we didn't like being married to each other. So then a few months later I met Alice via an online dating site, and Alice and I dated for a while, and then we got married. But first she got pregnant. That was great. Then we raised Eloise together and we didn't get along. And now I'm at the point where I'm working on divorce number 2. Not a good choice. So I was lucky enough in my career to work with some very talented people, and I've learned a whole lot along the way. Some of the projects I've worked on, we'll just start with recently, are Wolf of Wall Street. I worked on Run All Night. Worked on Still Alice. Worked on Nonstop. The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. That was no fun. I worked on Men in Black 3. The Avengers. That was fun. The Avengers, I saw some pretty good stuff. Mr. Popper's Penguins. That was fun. Did some good effects for that one. My Soul to Take, that film had a working title I don't even remember. So I don't even know what film that is. Going the Distance, that was a good film. Salt, that was fun. Angie was nice to work with. I don't remember working on The Sorcerer's Apprentice, but I got a credit for it. Okay, well, some of those films I don't remember. I worked on both Sex and the City films. That was a lot of fun. Hard work, but fun. Good stuff. Date Night, Bounty Hunter. So a lot of the projects that I'm discussing are on my IMDb site. It's public knowledge of all the projects I worked on, and some are more fun than others. Hancock, that was a lot of fun. Will Smith was very nice. He came over and said hi to everyone, as did the Jonas Brothers on the Jonas Brothers 3D movie. They came and said hi to everyone there. Obviously, know manners and how to speak to the crew. That was nice. And my son got to have a picture with Taylor Swift, so that was a good moment. So I've had some good moments in the film business that have led me to this point. Explaining part of my video career has led me to understanding how light works and how lenses can help tell a story, because that's what it's all about, telling a story. Welcome to Learning Digital Photography. If a picture tells 1,000 words, it's your turn to start telling a story. Whatever you take a picture of, you want to make sure that you tell a little bit of a story in it, whether it's food or it's a picture of the beach or something. And a big part of framing is making sure that you have some interesting subject matter here and up here, and that helps people's visual symmetry become attracted to your picture. Pets seem to be a very popular part of digital photography. However, they move quickly just like kids, so you want to make sure you choose a higher shutter speed. That means it's time to learn a little about exposure. Right, Rex? So exposure is the aperture, which is how big the lens is open, how much light goes in the lens, and shutter speed, which is how fast the imager gets exposed light. Once you've collected all of your digital photographs, you need to learn how to store them properly so you don't lose them. Most cameras or phones have a way for archiving your photos, so it's good to subscribe to a service like Dropbox if you have a smartphone, or learning how to use Dropbox with your computer so you can upload and share your photos. That way they're stored and they're archived online in the cloud, and you don't risk losing them if you have a hard drive failure. Now you want to worry about sharing your photos. Dropbox is a good way to share, and there's all kinds of other services that allow you to share photos because emailing them is clunky. Digital photography often means taking out your cell phone and taking pictures, snapshots of wherever you are. This often is the way people take their pictures. I find this to be cumbersome, and now we live in the 16:9 world. This is the way you should take all your pictures. Like that. Merely flipping your camera 90 degrees from its upright position like this makes a much better panoramic effect and opens up your world to the 16:9 world that most people are comfortable with nowadays. Sometimes when you take pictures, your smartphone can also take video. So it's good to learn a little tip. We already discussed having the camera at 90 degrees to the way you normally would take it. Also, you got to keep steady. Keeping your camera or your phone steady is very important. A tip for that is watch the edges. If you keep an eye on the edges, it's easier to keep your image steady. Nobody wants to watch shaky video.